So welcome everybody to our continuing education webinar. My name is Nicole Vincent. I am a Diamond Wellness Advocate with doTERRA. I'm also a holistic empowerment coach. And tonight we are going to be talking about emergency preparedness with essential oils. And not just essential oils, we're going to throw a few other things in there as well. So hopefully we'll get you educated and help you feel a little bit more prepared in life. So this is my family. I am a mother of four. Me and my husband have been married for 17 years now. And when I wanted to get my first kit, I kind of sold him on the idea that, hey, this can kind of be our emergency supply in case we can't get to medical care or a pharmacy or whatever. And so that's kind of how I sold him on the idea of essential oils. And honestly, that was kind of my plan. But once I started using them, I couldn't help but use them on a daily basis. And so they're part of my daily plan and part of my emergency plan as well. So, and I've been sharing and using doTERRA for a little over 4 years now. And I just absolutely love it. It has been such a blessing in our lives. Let you know, I am not a doctor. I am not here to treat, diagnose, prevent, cure, anything. This is for educational purposes only. So please consult your medical professional should you have any questions about your health care. So what is an emergency? This is when it is a sudden, unforeseen crisis, usually involving some level of danger that requires immediate action. So it's something you didn't expect, but we can plan for emergencies. So what are some types of emergency? We could have fires, we can have tornadoes, we can have a terrorist attack, we can have blizzards. That doesn't happen here in Houston. We can have flooding. Houston right now, we are experiencing flooding. So there's a lot of different things that can happen. We've had hurricanes here in Houston. I'm trying to think, ice storms that can happen. Even losing a job or a house fire or something like that. You never know when those emergency might pop up. So I wanted to show some pictures here. So this picture here on the left is from Hurricane Ike. The eye went directly over my area of Houston, which is called Kingwood. And there were trees everywhere. You couldn't get through streets because we have huge pine trees everywhere. And there was no power. It was crazy. And most houses were without power for about 2 weeks. Thankfully, I live very close to a fire and police station, and so we got our power on really quickly. But most people in my area were actually without power for 2 weeks. Could you guys imagine what you would do without power for 2 weeks? It's crazy. We were, since we got power first, I was doing laundry for friends, and we were freezing, gallon milk jugs with water just for ice, and you couldn't find gas for a long time. It was such an eye-opening experience for me of being prepared and having that emergency plan. And right now in Houston, this is my husband actually took these pictures on his way home from work. He rides a bus from downtown to our suburb, and the one on the bottom is our river that is near our house, but it's probably about half a mile from the river. So it's, thankfully right in our immediate area, we're not flooded, but very nearby. And many of my friends here in Houston their houses have flooded. And it's just, you never know when you're going to have to evacuate. You never know what's going to come up. So that's what I want to talk to you guys tonight about, having that backup plan and knowing what you're going to do. So first off, guys, you got to have some kind of plan. Do you have places that you can go, a parent or family member or friend out of the area? Do you have funds set aside to possibly get a hotel? What is your plan should you have to leave your home or something happens? have a 72-hour kit for every person and pet in your home. So this is, if your new 72-hour kit is something that is new to you, you've never heard that before, just go to our friend Google and type in 72-hour kit. And there's lots of different instructions and ideas on there on forming putting together a 72-hour kit. But this is something that you want to have that you can grab easily. So typically you want to do it in a backpack or a 5-gallon bucket. We have ours in big plastic tubs, so we can easily strap them to the back of our car on our wheelless trailer and get out of town. And you want to have something prepared for every member of your household. So in our household, for example, we have me and my husband. We have 4 kids. We have my husband's grandfather. We have 2 dogs and a cat. So we need to have preparation in that 72-hour kit it's usually multiple 72-hour kits, for every member of our home, because we wouldn't want to leave our pets behind. We don't want to leave grandpa behind. You also need to look about drinking water. There's times where the plumbing gets down and you don't have consumable water. And so doing things like, if emergency is coming, filling your bathtubs with water so you can use those to flush your toilet or to bathe, making sure you have enough drinking water for your family. So most places are going to recommend 1 to 2 gallons of water per day for each person and pet in your family. And that would include that you could, do some bathing, and you're going to be doing like sponge baths. But you need to consider that bathing, cooking, all that good stuff. You need to have important documents and phone numbers, because if there was some kind of emergency where all the electronics got fried, I know I would be totally screwed, because everything is on my phone, everything. So I'm doing good to remember my kids' phone numbers, So make sure you have printed out contacts, emergency contacts, numbers of places, your bank, and places to get birth certificates, copies of birth certificates, passports, all that thing. You need to have that. And also you want to have cash, because if power is out, you're not going to be able to use your credit card. You're not going to be able to use your ATM card to get cash out of an ATM machine. So have an emergency cash stash so that you will be able to purchase what you might need. So how does essential oils fit into this emergency preparedness? Super easy, guys. It fits in like it was always meant to be there. So ways we're going to use this. We're going to help with first aid needs. We're going to help with emotional support. We're going to help with hygiene, cleanliness, and immune support. Okay, essential oils are very versatile, guys. They have multiple uses for each oil, and you can mix oils so you have even more uses. They don't have an expiration date. The citrus oils, they expire a little bit faster, usually about 5 to 10 years, because they oxidize faster. But most oils, as long as you keep the cap on tight, they're going to have a shelf life that's going to outlast you. They really, in doTERRA, they have done expedited aging processes that have expedited the oils up to about 100 years, and they're still viable. They're still effective and therapeutic. So they're going to outlast you, which is awesome. Very little is required to receive benefits, so you're only needing a drop or 2 at a time. They are all natural, so you're not having to worry about side effects or anything like that. And they're very small containers, which when you're trying to pack like a 72-hour kit, or you're having to load up your car with everything you need to get out of your home because your home is flooding or there's emergency coming, small space is at a premium, so you want to make sure that small containers can be very, very beneficial. And they are not one-trick ponies. This is probably my favorite thing about essential oils. They are so versatile. So you can have one bottle of essential oil that can help not only support your immune system, it can help with relieving insect bites, it can help repel bugs, it can help boost your immune system if you have picked up something along the way, and it can help you sleep better at night. That can be all in one thing instead of 5 different products. So it makes sense, doesn't it? So for those that are new to essential oils, I'm going to do a real quick little intro here. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly so we can get to the meat of this presentation. But just in case you're brand new to essential oils, I want to make sure you have a point of reference. So an essential oil is a natural aromatic compound that is found in plants. They're typically going to be steam distilled from the plant matter, like the bark of a tree, the flower, the stem, the leaves, berries, or they're going to be cold pressed from the rind, such as citrus oils. They are very powerful and safe without side effects and lots of benefits. This is a lavender essential oil sac, very magnified. And you can see this little purple globule there in the middle is the essential oil. So when you rub that, like maybe you've rubbed a basil leaf or peppermint leaf and you've had that burst of scent, that's what's rupturing is that little oil sac. So they are very potent, guys. A little bit goes a long way. So 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So you really don't need a lot. So yes, it's tiny little bottles, but you really only need a drop, maybe 2 drops at the most per dose. The way you're going to use these are going to be aromatic, topical, and internal. So with aromatic, you can use what's shown here, which is called a diffuser. This, you put some water in here and then put about 3 to 5 drops of essential oil, and then it has this ultrasonic vibrator that puts it into the air so that you can breathe that in. In an emergency situation, you might not have access to electricity. And so another way you can use them aromatically is just to put a drop on your palm, rub your hands together, and cup it over your nose and mouth. You can also put a drop on your hand, make an O shape with the other hand, put it right there, and then suck it in to really get that directly into your lungs and really help support your respiratory system. Or you can breathe it directly out of the bottle. You can get a tissue or a cotton ball and put drops on there and get it aromatically that way. The reason you would want to use oils aromatically is so many reasons. So number 1, impact the mood. Think about how stressed or anxious you might feel during an emergency. And oils can really help calm you down. They can help regulate your response to the situation, slow down your breathing, slow down your heart rate, and really help you feel more calm and collected, and maybe feel less stressed as well. So impacting the mood is huge. Aid in respiratory support. So if maybe there's a fire, you might need to help support your lungs and your respiratory system, and essential oils are very good at that, both from the diffuser and using your hands or your body as a diffuser. It's also excellent for purifying the air. I know right now with flooding, mold is going to be a big concern. And so after the matter, you can diffuse oils to help with those different threats that might have come along with floodwaters. And so purifying the air and making sure that it's healthy for you to breathe in and to help neutralize any environmental threats that might be flying around that you don't want to breathe into your body. Oils are great for that. So topically, this is where we're actually applying the oils to the area that is affected. So oils are safe, and the primary concern when using essential oils is skin sensitivity. So you want to be mindful of that. There are some oils that are going to be more irritating to the skin than others, but you can dilute with a carrier oil. This is my personal favorite right here. This is, of course, I'm shedding on it, but this is fractionated coconut oil. And this is just a neutral carrier oil that's got some of the fats removed, so it stays liquid at room temperature. But you just mix that with a little bit of your essential oil, 1 to 2 drops, and then you can apply it over a large area or apply it to a child or sensitive skin. And I like to apply my oils to the bottoms of my feet. So that is where we apply most of the oils in my home, because I'm not having to mess with the diluting, because our skin down on our feet is not very sensitive. So as we apply the oils down there, I'm not worried about it irritating the skin. Second, if it's an oil that's a little stinky, like oregano, because somebody has picked up they really want super boosting to their immune system, then I want to put it down on the bottoms of the feet because it doesn't smell great. And you can also use reflex points on the bottoms of the feet as well. Internal use, and this is unique to doTERRA because of all of our testing, and I'll talk briefly about that in just a moment, but you can use this in a capsule, in an empty capsule. You can get those directly under your tongue, in a glass of water or juice, or in a teaspoon of honey. And if you are going to be using it in your water, I love to use oils in my water. It's a great way to purify your water. use glass or stainless steel, because plastic is made from petrochemicals, and essential oils actually denature the chemical bonds in petrochemicals. And so you're going to have yourself a mess on your hands. So make sure you use glass or stainless steel if you are putting oils in your water, or if you're wanting to use them to purify your water if you're concerned about safety. So with oils, again, like I said, very few side effects. Don't put in the ears, eyes, nose. Very sensitive membranes. We don't want to disrupt those. Use your carrier oil, not water, and follow label directions. So why are we going to choose doTERRA essential oils? Because now you can get oils almost anywhere. I've even seen them at the dollar store. I've seen them at Best Buy. Yeah, let me buy this iPad. Oh, let me get some oils while I'm here. It's just, everybody's trying to get in on the essential oil train. But not all oils are created alike. Our oils are certified pure therapeutic grade in doTERRA or CPTG. And what that means to you is that they are 100% natural. There are no artificial ingredients or fragrances or fillers. If you get a bottle of peppermint, it is 100% peppermint oil. They are safe. They are certified to be free of pesticides and other chemical residues. And so with that, they're beyond organic. So if that peppermint field, for example, had been sprayed with some kind of pesticide and then harvested and then distilled to an essential oil, you don't want that concentrated pesticide in your oil, do you? Not every oil company is going to promise that and test for that, but we do, every batch. And they are potent. We source our oils around the globe in areas where that plant is going to thrive and provide the most therapeutic benefits. So, for example, if I were to grow an apple tree here in Houston, I probably could. My apples probably would not be as good as if they had come from Washington State, where they have the right weather, the right soil, the right altitude for apple trees to grow and thrive. Down here in Houston, it's very wet. We don't have real seasons. It's kind of warm and then hot. There's really not a lot of difference. And so apple trees need more of a cycle. Same thing with plants that we're getting essential oils from. We want it to grow in an environment that is going to produce the best quality plant. So we test that so that you're having standardized active compounds and you're receiving therapeutic benefits with every single bottle of oil. Okay, so let's get to the juicy stuff, right? So on these slides, you're going to see two sections. You're going to see the chemical components of each essential oil that we're going to be talking about. That is a single oil, of course, but I'm not going to go over those. I want you to mainly read those so that you can, because I have to follow the FDA's rules, and there's a lot I can't say. So just kind of read that, and by knowing the chemical components, you can understand what that oil is actually capable of, okay? So in emergency situations, lavender would be a great oil for many things. It is a very calming oil. So if you're feeling agitated, if you're having some kind of hives, like maybe you came into contact with a bee and your body is not reacting well to that, that would be a great thing. Internal and external discomfort or pain, cramping, seasonal threats, any kind of bug bites, anxious feelings, sprains, sunburn, sunstroke. Guys, lavender is amazing. You definitely need lavender in your life. It is great for also first aid needs. So if you have a cut, if you would like to slow down the bleeding, you want to disinfect it, you want to help it, that wound be supported and begin the healing process, then lavender is a great oil to put on there. And will also relieve some discomfort as well associated with those cuts and scrapes that can happen along the way. Lemon. Oh, we love us some lemon. So this is just a great all-around oil. This is one that you get very multi-purpose. So this is going to help seasonal threats. It's going to help with your digestive system and respiratory support as well. It's great for disinfecting cuts and cleansing. So not only cleansing on your body and in your body, it is great for cleansing surfaces. So if you're concerned, maybe you're trying to prepare a meal and you've been displaced, you're at a campsite maybe, you could use some lemon oil to help disinfect a surface where you might be preparing your meal. You can use it on your hands as well to help disinfect your hands. It's great to help get rid of intestinal parasites, especially if the water supply has been compromised. That is a real issue that can happen. Sore throats, lifting your spirits, because if you're in the middle of an emergency situation, you might feel incredibly down. And so lemon can be very uplifting. It helps with stress and fatigue as well. And for purifying. So if you're concerned about the water, I would still recommend boiling it, but lemon can also help, put a few drops of lemon in your water, again, in a glass or stainless steel container, and you can shake it up and let it sit for a little bit, and then your water, you're good, because lemon does not like little critters that like to float in the water that you can't necessarily see. Peppermint, this is such an amazing oil, and I love it for so many reasons. In an emergency situation, peppermint is great for topical discomfort, which can definitely happen if you're hurrying and you're trying to get out. Maybe you're trying to get out of a window to get out of your house because your house is on fire, and you knock your knee really hard. Peppermint can be very beneficial at relieving that discomfort. So, bumps and bruises along the way, it can help. It can also help with tension that can come along with stressful situations. So I love to apply it along the back of my neck, along with lavender, along the back of my neck, and then right here along my forehead and temples. And peppermint is very strong, so a little bit goes a long way. It's also really great for cooling. So if your body is overheating, maybe you've been in the sun too long, maybe you picked up some little environmental threat along the way, and you need to reduce your body temperature, peppermint is excellent at doing that. It's also really good when shock is present. It kind of is like that little smack in the face that can kind of wake you up and get you back to reality. It definitely increases oxygen absorption within the body, and you can do that just from inhaling it. So just a drop on your hand of peppermint, rub your hands together, breathe it in a few times, take some deep breaths. Not only is it going to help open up your airways, it's also going to help increase that oxygen. And our cells, when they have more oxygen, they are able to perform better. Okay, we're able to think clearer and have that mental clarity that is so needed in times of emergency. It can also help with motion sickness or occasional nausea from riding in a car, or maybe you're just stressed so much that you've made yourself a little nauseated, vomiting, heat stroke, things like that. Or if you're tired, peppermint, I love to combine peppermint and wild orange, drop of each on my hand and breathe that in. And then I just rub the extra on the back of my neck, and it just really wakes me up and helps me feel ready. So you can see how beneficial this would be in an emergency situation and why you need this in your emergency kit. Now, helichrysum. Now, guys, this is going to be a really tricky one for me to speak compliantly, but I'm going to try my best. So this is an oil. This is probably the most expensive oil I'm going to recommend, and it does come in the smaller size, but this is one that, guys, you need this one in your kit. You need this in your emergency kit because I'm just going to say it. The nickname of this oil is Liquid Stitches, and you need that in your kit, okay? Because you never know when you're gonna need that. It is amazing. I've seen it work many times, but it really can stop that bleeding and stop that inflammation, and it's just amazing. So sorry, I was totally not complaining there, but I just had to. Great for bruising, sprains, swelling, injuries. Again, supporting the circulatory system. Ear discomfort. This is very definitely, it supports a proper inflammatory response, so that if you are having discomfort, helichrysum really supports that and really helps relieve some of that discomfort that can come along in the ears, in the muscles, tissue damage, things like that. If you've got scarring happening, helichrysum, or you don't want scarring to happen, helichrysum can be very helpful in that area. Hemorrhaging again, and respiratory support. This is like the big guns, guys. So this is one, and this is also immune support as well. So this is one you're not going to want to use a lot of. You only would need like maybe half a drop. When I use helichrysum, I usually just kind of wipe the edge of the bottle on my hand or on wherever I'm kneading, and that's more than enough. So you can even dilute this down if you don't want to put a full undiluted bottle of the helichrysum in your emergency pack. You can get smaller bottles and dilute it down with a fractionated coconut oil. And just make sure that lid's on real tight and that it's labeled, and you'll be good to go. And that way you can kind of stretch that out a little bit. Okay, Melaleuca. This is an oil this is one of those ones that just has so many benefits. Definitely topical discomfort, bug bites, seasonal threats, respiratory support, cuts, plant irritations, fungus issues. Again, like I said, with flooding, mold and mildew are going to be concerns in the home. So diffusing Melaleuca or a blend called Purify, which I would highly recommend, can be very beneficial at getting rid of the mildew and fungus that happens with floodwaters within your home. Ear, nose, and throat irritations, Melaleuca is amazing. Helps with slivers. If your eyes are getting irritated, they're very helpful. Now, don't put it in your eye. Put it just around the bone, just like right here on the outside, on the bridge of your nose. Don't put it in your eye. But both Melaleuca and lavender can be very helpful for eye irritations, wounds, and environmental threats. So love our Melaleuca. Lemongrass. I love lemongrass. This is another multi-purpose course. The oils that I included in this are ones that can be used for tons of different things. And I really advocate having a good reference, a book, an actual book. There's some great apps out there that I do recommend and I use on a regular basis, but I really recommend having a good reference book, because you don't know, what if this, we have some big event and you can't get electricity. You need that paper book to be able to look up how to use these oils and what you can use them for. So please make sure you have that as part of your emergency kit. So with lemongrass, this is great for swelling, sore muscles, cramping, ligament discomfort. So when you're hurting, which can definitely happen in emergency situations, you need some lemongrass. It's also very cleansing. It is very uplifting. It's great for your kidneys. So a lot of times when we are in an emergency situation, we're not drinking as much water as we should, right? So our kidneys definitely need some additional support. This can help with water retention. So if you're just retaining water, because that's what happens when you're stressed, or that's what happens when you're traveling. Melinda, I didn't mention my book. I just said have your favorite reference book. Lemongrass is also very emotionally balancing and really helps with mental clarity as well. So get you some lemongrass. Now, clove. This is a powerhouse of an oil. This is a hotter oil, so this is one you typically do want to dilute in all situations. This is great for topical discomfort. It is a drawing salve, so if you have gotten a sliver or a thorn or something, then it can help draw that out. Or if you've got something, an occasional skin eruption, see if that's compliant. It can help draw that icky stuff out as well. So, and those are super technical terms, but I'm trying to be compliant according to the FDA's guidelines for the most part. Although obviously this slide was done before the compliance thing and I didn't catch it. But for head tension, this is another great one. But again, make sure diluting, because clove can be very relieving of discomfort. So make sure that you are diluting it, but it can be very, very effective. It helps with digestive support as well. Blood clots, it can help break those up. It helps for toothaches and dental infections. So if you've had dental work, a lot of times they will use clove oil to help numb that area. So very great for that. And it helps draw out, if you have been exposed to poisonous plants, it can help draw that out as well. Okay, breathe. This is a blend of essential oils. It has laurel leaf, peppermint, eucalyptus, melaleuca, lemon, ravensara, and cardamom in it. And this is our respiratory blend. So this is, I think, for me, we use this so much. It is primarily there for respiratory support. It can also help with seasonal threats and any kind of congestion that can happen that can be associated with seasonal threats or environmental threats. It also is very relaxing and calming. So if you're feeling anxious or you're having a hard time breathing, then you can definitely do that. Hold on, Amy, let me get you. Trying to get my thing open. Okay, Amy, you're unmuted. Did you have a question?
Yes. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I realized that I wanted to share this with someone, but they're not available tonight. So will there be a replay?
This will be uploaded in my Essential Oiler group. So,
Yay!
so it will be there.
Thank you, Nicole.
No
You're doing
problem.
awesome.
So Breathe is just a great oil to have on hand. It really just helps calmness ensue. So hold on, there we go. And it really just, it helps open up those airways, especially you can combine this with lavender, especially because sometimes those airways can feel a little constricted when you're in a very stressful or you know, high stress situation. So I like to combine lavender and Breathe on my hand and breathe it in. And that double whammy, you've got the super calming of the lavender and then the respiratory support of the Breathe, and it just really helps everything just chill out. And I love it. Okay, next one, On Guard. This is a must-have, guys. Oh, everybody needs On Guard in their life, don't you think? So this has wild orange, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. So this is a powerhouse of a blend. And in an emergency situation, this is going to help support the immune system. So you definitely want that because, guys, when we're stressed out, what happens? Stress equals immune system compromise, right? So we need all the help we can get as we're in those stressful situations. So this is one that I like to take internally. I like to put on the bottoms of my feet. I love to stick in my diffuser. I use this every single way and every single day. So I love On Guard. And it's great for a sore throat, for purifying your water as a hand sanitizer. Again, those environmental threats that can happen. Mold, so this is another one that you can diffuse to help with the mold and mildew that can be associated with flooding. As a disinfectant, because sometimes in emergency situations, stuff gets stinky, right? Flooding, fires. So it can really help clear that air and clear anything floating around in that air. And it helps with toothaches as well because of that clove, and it helps with seasonal threats. So this is a great oil. This is another one that you do want to dilute for sensitive skin. So, so keep that in mind. Okay, so those are the oils that we're going to talk about tonight. There's a lot more, but I really wanted to get the core oils that would really help benefit you in an emergency situation. So with essential oils, you choose to empower yourself, guys. I cannot tell you how empowered I feel as a mom and how empowered I feel in an emergency situation that I have the tools I need to take care of my family and their needs. And yes, essential oils are a little bit different than your norm, but as you use them and as you get comfortable with them and you feel confident, you feel that empowerment and you have a good reference book, you've got your oils, you're good to go. And you can provide individualized care for each family member. So you don't have to have just one pill or one syrup or whatever and hope that helps everybody. You have all these tricks up your sleeve that can help every single one of your family members in different ways. And it is so bonding, guys. I can't tell you how much kids and love and crave that touch from you. And rubbing oils on their feet and rubbing oils on their back. They love it. It's very beautiful. And again, you have the tools you need when emergencies happen. And, even if that emergency is somebody losing their job and you don't have the money you need to maybe go to see a physician or go to the pharmacy, if you've got your oils, guys, you can take care of most things to give the body the natural support that it needs to do what it was designed to do. So here are a few other items that you might want to consider having in your emergency pack. And this isn't the end all, but as you're thinking of getting your 72-hour kit together, consider these things. Make sure you have an oil reference book that you like and I can, at the end of the recording, I'm happy to share my personal favorites with you. Have an oil reference book on herbs as well, because you might be out in the wilderness somewhere and you might need to use some herbal remedies and maybe other natural remedy ideas. Carrier oils. Fractionated coconut oil is a great one because it has a longer shelf life. And I really like that one, but things like grapeseed oil, almond oil, things like that. Have some carrier oils with you because they can be so, my fractionated coconut oil gets used for so many things. Have glass containers, have some roller bottles, have some spray bottles, have drinking bottles. Make sure you guys have some reusable water bottles so that if something were to happen, you already have those because they're going to last a lot longer than just having a plastic water bottle. Have a first aid kit. So have your bandages, have your gauze, have your tape, have some super glue so you can glue stuff back together. And it's super easy. Now they have beautiful first aid kits that you can buy already pre-assembled. You just need to add in your oil goodies, right? So those are already on hand. Some other things to have on hand that can be beneficial: colloidal silver, activated charcoal to help neutralize GI distress. I'm not super compliant, as versed in compliance with the other stuff as I am with the oils. Apple cider vinegar, which is very multi-purpose, as is coconut oil, hydrogen peroxide, and natural witch hazel, baking soda, of course, ample water, flashlight, and batteries. You want to make sure you have those as well. Someone asked, what is the silver for? It is, it's very multi-purpose. It is mainly to help support the immune system. So you can go, Google is your friend. So just Google colloidal silver and there'll be lots of great information there. And this is the full list. And I honestly, this probably isn't full list because for me, my emergency kit is including all of my oils because I can't live without any of them. But if I had to pick just a few, these are probably the ones that I would want to have that are going to be the most, or the widest array of properties that will be the most versatile. So take a picture of the screen or make a list. And these are the oils that I would have if I had to just pick a handful. I want to highlight just a couple things on here. The Terra Shield, guys, they just came out with a new formula, which is amazing. I have tested it on the mosquitoes in Houston, which I think are some of the freaking trickiest mosquitoes out there. Because with the old formula, I had to mix it with something in order to have it be effective. But now with the new formula, it comes in a spray. I actually am diluting the spray, and it's still working very, very well. But you watch the mosquitoes like swarm and they're like, oh, never mind, I don't want you. They literally turn around. It's crazy. But you're going to want to have Terra Shield if you are having to evacuate and you don't want to deal with bugs. And this helps with lots of different bugs. So not just mosquitoes, think about ticks and fleas and bed bugs and things like that. Correctex is our natural first aid ointment that is amazing for the skin and amazing for first aid needs. So you definitely want that on hand. A little bit goes a long way, and we use that for so many different things. Of course, fractionated coconut oil, we talked about that. The LLV or DNP, which is the Lifelong Vitality Pack or our Daily Nutrient Pack. Those are our vitamins, guys, and those are something that when you're in an emergency situation, you really, you're not going to have access to good, healthy food. And so having those vitamins, even if you're only taking one of each because you need to ration it out or whatever, but having those on hand could really make or break you because, guys, if your body's not getting what it needs, your mind will start breaking down and your body will start breaking down. So make sure your body has, some nutrition and some goodness. And it really is, for me, that's a must-have. Like, I probably have at least 2 or 3 months supply backed up just in case of my Lifelong Vitality Pack and Daily Nutrient Pack because they're so essential. Terrazyme is another one, guys, it's a digestive enzyme supplement that really helps you break down food and helps with digestive distress. And I love it. PB Assist is a probiotic, guys. This is the good gut flora that you need to have. 70% or more of your immune system is based on the flora in your gut. So if you do not have the right microbes in your gut, then your immune system is going to be compromised, and you do not want to have a compromised immune system in an emergency situation, especially if you're not able to get to medical care with ease. And then Citrus Bliss or the Serenity Bar Soap, guys. This is a great one to have on hand because it's not super great, easy to throw in your body wash or whatever you have, but you can grab a bar of soap, and this is a natural soap that is not going to dry out your skin, and that can really just, you never know when you're going to need some soap. So I recommend that for sure. Now, for those that are brand new to doTERRA or haven't gotten an account, there are 2 ways to purchase. And I'm just going to touch on this real quick because I think most of us here are, Melinda asks, is our soap safe for the environment? I believe it is. I would think that it is. So for those that are brand new to doTERRA, don't have a wholesale account, there's 2 ways to purchase. You can be a customer, and that is to purchase the products at full retail price. No commitment, no obligation. You just pay the retail price and you're good to go. What most people do, they get a wholesale membership. This is just like a Sam's Club or a Costco membership. It gives you 25% off the retail prices, and you can either pay the $35 membership fee or you can enroll with one of our starter kits. And there's no obligation after that. You can buy as much or as little as you want. Most people do sign up for our loyalty rewards program. This is a monthly order that you get to change and edit every single month. There is not a minimum to buy other than you have to buy something. And that can be like a lip balm, or it can be $500 worth of stuff. It's totally up to you. And every time you make a purchase that's 50 points or higher, which is around $50, then you get points back in your little doTERRA savings account. And you can redeem those for free products of your choosing. And 1 point equals $1. So it's not skewed. It is the cheapest, smartest way to get your products. And you can change your order every single month. And it makes it so easy. You can get free products. You can, lots of good stuff. So lots of benefits with the loyalty rewards program. If that's something that maybe you already have a wholesale membership, but you are not participating in loyalty rewards, please, please, please talk to the person that signed you up, or shoot me an email and I'm happy to help you. Let's see, does the LRP automatically set up the discount? Yes. So every month that your purchase is 50% or higher, 50 points or higher on your loyalty rewards or LRP, you're going to increase in your percentage back. So it will automatically increase. That increased percent, that gets updated on the 15th of the month for the previous month on your back office. So it's a great, great way to make sure that you are getting the most bang for your buck as you're purchasing your oils and other natural products. So get started today, guys. If you don't have a wholesale account, get one. If you're not on LRP, get on it. You're not going to be disappointed. You need these oils not only for your daily health, but you need it for your emergency preparedness. You do not want to be caught without the right tools when an emergency happens. So if you have a contact that invited you to this webinar, please talk to them. They can help you get started with either your own wholesale account or get started on the LRP. If you do not have a contact, I am so happy to help you. Shoot me an email at nicole@nicolervincent.com. And I'm happy to get you connected, or you can visit my website as well at mydoterra.com/NicoleV. Just click on join and save and then choose wholesale prices, and you'll be able to get started today. So here are the ways to connect with me online. I do a lot of online teaching that is open to anyone and everyone. So please, whatever social media you're on, find me. I'm on it as well. And my website, it's brand new. It's still under construction. I'm working right now with doTERRA to get it doTERRA certified. So there's still not a lot on there, but that is a great way to connect with me as well at nicolervincent.com. And I would love to connect with you. And I have lots of continuing education, so I'm here to help support you as you learn more about your essential oils. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Just give me just a second. Maybe. Oh, let me go back.